full-time student.
Oh, that's great! What are you studying?
Well, I'm getting my PhD in systems modeling and analysis, but I work in statistics.
Hmm, that's nice. I hate math.
Okay, that's cool. Welcome back, Unfinished fam, to my newcomers. I am soon to be Dr. Jones, or you can just call me Chelsea. If you've met me in real life, so not through your screen, then you would know that I don't talk about the details of getting my PhD that often. Why, you ask? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you. You didn't think that I would forget to tell you to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to turn on notifications, or to follow me on the Instagram, did you? If you did, you should know better. Another day in the life of a Black woman pursuing a PhD. I won't lie to you, it's not as adrenaline pumping as it seems, which is why I don't talk about it that much. Think about it. If someone walked up to you talking about how they have a passion so strong for kicking rocks, but how stressful it is maintaining their sanity, trying to find the perfect rock kicking shoes, would you want to listen? Or would you pretend that you forgot to put the shoe in the freezer to start the car to get out of the conversation? I imagine this is what it feels like when someone asks me what I do and I genuinely express my joy for it. It may be my anxiety coercing me to believe that whatever I say is uninteresting, but I also know that math and science are stigmatized in the Black community. Meaning, either way, the chances that someone is sincerely interested in what I'm saying is pretty low. And if you do know me, you also know that I have pretty questionable social cues at times. So once I start talking about something I really love, you have a pretty slim chance at stopping me. So if I can't tell that you're uninterested in what I'm saying, the next reason I wouldn't bring up the deets of my PhD journey is because it's a mood killer and I wouldn't want to bring it up in the first place. I find immense joy in the idea of having a PhD, but this little having to earn it piece is not what I asked for. I, like many of the other PhD chasers that I've met, did the research on what it meant to pursue a PhD. And in a lot of the resources that I encountered, there wasn't a lot of information about the intersectionality between being Black, being a woman, being in math, and being a PhD student. And in turn, I was grossly underprepared for the experiences that I had during my PhD program. Naturally, some of the uncalled for discriminative situations that I went through upset me. This created a looming cloud of disdain that stuck over my head every time I thought about or talked about any aspect of my PhD journey. So much so that I refrained from talking about it. Also, I refrained from talking to some of the other students in my program about what was conspiring because I would have just put a larger target on my back. Or so I assumed. I'm not afraid to talk about the negative experiences that I had during my journey, but I'm just not sure that's what people are interested in hearing. Again, because of the lack of appropriate social cues. So, if you want to hear about what I thought I had to put up with, or when I decided enough was enough, leave me a comment down below and I'll make another video about it. So far, 2 reasons I don't chit chat about this PhD life thing is I don't think people are going to find it interesting, and I'm not trying to be anybody's Debbie, like, Debbie Downer, but let's not leave it at 2. Reason 3 I don't talk about my PhD life in real life is the shift that happens once I tell people I'm getting a PhD. Kind of like what I showed you in the opening monologue turned single person dialogue. I mentioned before that people assume that I'm smart because I'm getting my PhD, which is flattering until there's a change in the vibes. I've been in more than a couple situations where once I spill the beans about my profession, people assume that I'm an arrogant know-it-all. Sarcastic sometimes, annoying most of the time, but arrogant? Come on, I barely have the confidence to introduce myself in new settings. This not so subtle change in atmosphere has got me into a couple of heated discussions because I am anointed the too smart for their own good type. I'm just saying, don't blame my game night competitiveness on the fact that I'm pursuing a PhD. The two are completely disjoint and of no correlation. And for those who know, there is also no causation. I guess at this point, you're curious, like,
if you didn't like talking about your PhD journey, why did you make this YouTube channel? Chelsea, you was real dumb. Like, that don't make no sense.
I'm glad you kept that to yourself. But I'll share with you as to why I made this channel. But first, please refer to the channel introduction where I give a clear and respectful response. Now, I made this channel because I wanted to. It's my prerogative to do so, and so I did. This channel is solely for me. It's for the me of 4 years ago who couldn't get the answers that I sought. For the me who was too insecure in my capabilities to seek the credible help without feeling like a charity case. For the me who was made to feel inferior in this space as a Black woman. I was incredibly selfish in making this channel. But if you just so happen to connect or learn something from any of my content, then I guess that makes me a philanthropist. But another reason is I'm tired of not speaking up, and I'm past sick of hearing explanations and tips of the PhD journey coming from people that I can't relate to. I've been going to the largest gathering in the world of minorities pursuing their PhD for the past 4 years. Why am I bragging about this? Because every time I go, I can still only find about 4 or 5 others pursuing their PhD in math or stats. Remember when I said this intersectionality between being Black, being a woman, being in math, and being a PhD student? It matters who's giving you answers to the questions that you've asked. Would you ask Joe Goldberg from the Netflix show You for dating advice? Maybe, but you'll be missing out on information that's more beneficial to your situation. All I'm saying is that you're more receptive to information that's coming from someone who has had experiences closer to your own. By no means did I expect to share with the world my struggles with mental illness, my failures as an aspiring PhD, or my beautiful starry wall. Yet here we are. Chelsea of 2017 needed me, and after ignoring her for a few years, I decided to pick up the phone. I would say that she owes me, but there's not much that she has that I want. If you're starting a PhD program or you're thinking of getting a PhD, please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. This channel was originally made for Chelsea 2K17, but as my unfinished fam, I can't deny you the help you seek. If I did, I would have been a terrible choice for your chosen family. And look at that, a segue to talk about some of my chosen math family. Math swagger, are you there? Comment a memory, some opportunities, or some advice for some of the other unfinished family down below. I've definitely grown into the shoes that I laid out for myself at the beginning of my PhD program. Since I'm still a little bit uncomfortable talking about my PhD journey in the real world, I hope that this channel can serve as a useful outlet. Oh, but if you're watching this and you know me in the real world, please do not feel pressured to ask me about my PhD. If you're really interested, then I would love to nerd out with you. But if you're just asking as a courtesy, the more courteous thing to do would be start a conversation about almost anything else. Give me a thumbs up if you now understand why I don't talk about my PhD program, or even if you wish I did talk about it more. For more of my unfinished shenanigans, subscribe to my channel, and to get a daily dose of this gorgeous face, follow me on the Instagram at BlackandUnPhinished. Till next time, bye! Bye!